Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, March 6th. A major storm will impact much of the I-95 corridor from late tonight through the day on Wednesday. It looks like there can be significant snowfall in the suburban areas of the big cities from Philadelphia up to Boston. The snow will extend all the way up into Maine. Mixing with rain will be an issue in the big cities, Philadelphia, New York City, for example, and that certainly will cut down on accumulations in the big cities of Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston, and to points south and east all the way to the coastline. There certainly will be some rain involved in this system. Most of the intensification occurs to the north and east of D.C., so they are not going to experience any of the heavier snowfall that looks like it will occur suburban locations north of the Mason-Dixon line, but they're not totally in the clear either down in the D.C. metro region. Certainly can be some snow down in that area as well. Let's walk through all the details here, and a lot of details still need to be ironed out over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. For example, the exact positioning of the low pressure system on Wednesday will be crucial in terms of where exactly that axis of heaviest snow lines up. Right now it looks like the low will move right around the coastline of southern New Jersey early tomorrow, and with a position right near the coastline, the axis of heavier snow will be inland, certainly to the north and west of the immediate I-95 corridor region. So again, the big cities, Philadelphia, New York City, and even Boston, look like they'll have some mixing issues that'll cut back on accumulations. Heavier snow likely to the north and west of I-95. Let's now walk through the 500 millibar. This is the very latest, the 12Z high resolution, the 3-kilometer version of the NAM model, and we'll just walk through in hourly increments these maps from Tropical Tidbits. There's our wave of energy in the upper part of the atmosphere that will set off the development of a coastal low in the overnight hours and during the day on Wednesday. The whole thing is tending to shift to the south and east, thanks again in large part to that high latitude blocking to the north right now over northern Canada, and it'll start to take on a negatively tilted trough axis here. What we mean by that is, and here we are by early tomorrow morning, the main upper level low feature is situated over the Great Lakes, but the axis extends from there south and east. When you have a northwest to southeast orientation to the axis, that's called a negatively tilted axis, and that leads to a very, very strong upward motion in the southeastern quadrant here, and that indeed will be where that surface low pressure system intensifies rapidly during the day on Wednesday. And here we are by later tomorrow afternoon, that upper level feature going right over Delmarva Peninsula, southern New Jersey, and strong low pressure will be the result here, with strong upward motion, especially again from areas north of the Mason-Dixon line, from Philly to Boston, for example, and all the way up to Maine. This is now late Wednesday night, and that thing finally winding down here in the D.C. to New York City corridor. Well, let's now take a look at the surface forecast maps, again from the very latest 12Z high-resolution version of the NAM, and here we have some rain starting to spread to the north and east from the southern U.S., Can be some rain in the D.C. metro region, perhaps a mixture with snow by early tonight, just on the doorstep of Philadelphia by early tonight. And again, that rain-snow line will be right around the I-95 corridor region. Points to the north and west should have predominantly snow in the overnight hours, but a mixture certainly down in the D.C. metro region. Let's now move forward here to the middle part of the evening, and snow, again, the dominant precipitation type here, north of the Mason-Dixon line. Kind of a mixture, but certainly can be a period of all snow down in D.C. And then we move forward into the early part of tomorrow. This is the time when this low pressure area will really start to intensify, early tomorrow morning. And let's move forward here in hourly increments. And there's that low pressure. It starts off the coastline of the Carolinas. Notice some heavy snow bands starting to break out, primarily north of the Mason-Dixon line and across southeastern Pennsylvania, throughout western New Jersey as well. There can be some heavy snow bands here, but also notice here some rain depicted here by the high-resolution model into southern New Jersey, right on the doorstep of Philadelphia at this time. And indeed, there will be a battle going on right around I-95. It looks like areas to the south and east can experience some rain, some sleet, whereas to the north and west of I-95 predominantly in the form of snow. And this kind of a color here indicates heavy snow bands, some intense snowfall rates possible, especially again on the northwest side of I-95 here, and interior higher elevation areas of eastern Pennsylvania, western New Jersey can absolutely get pounded during the day on Wednesday here. And finally it starts to wind down. Again, notice kind of tucked in right along the New Jersey coastline for a while here during the day, and then finally it winds down here in the DC, Philadelphia, New York City corridor early tomorrow night, and that pushes all the way into Maine. So again, it's looking like the heaviest snow will occur in the northern and western suburbs. The big cities themselves will have mixing periods of snow, but also some periods mixed with sleet and rain, especially in the big cities and points south and east. That'll cut back on accumulations in the big cities, perhaps 2 to 4 inches or so in Philly and New York City, 4 to 8 or even up to 10 inches or so in the northern and western suburbs, again north and west of the big cities of Philadelphia and New York City. And DC, maybe a coating to 1 inch or 2 with the lower part of that range in the southwestern side, the higher part 1 inch or 2 up across the northeastern part of the district. So stay tuned. Any kind of a shift today in the storm track will lead to a shift in the axis of heavier snow. But again, heavier snow looks like in the suburbs, northern and western suburbs from Philadelphia all the way up to Boston during the day on Wednesday. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.